so pure and clean. A few days ago, I saw a video where the person was talking about how idols who debut really young, they have this disconnect between their young self and their adult self. And the original video was talking about K-pop idols, but it made me think of YIBO, and then it also made me think of Xiaozhen. But I want to make this video for YIBO's birthday, so I'm going to focus on talking only about YIBO, and maybe I'll make a video in September talking about both of them, and then a video in October for Xiaozhen. Disclaimer before we start, I don't want to pretend like I'm some psychologist expert, and I also don't want to pretend like I know YIBO personally, because I obviously don't. We're all a slightly different person when we're with different people. Like, I'm a slightly different person when I'm with my parents, my siblings, my friends, my coworkers, my boss, etc. So I am just basing this random video talking about YIBO's personality based off of what he shows and what some other people who have worked with him will say about him. Alright, so back to the video that I was talking about. The person said that the idols who debut really young, like 10 years after they debut, they are adults, they're mature now, but sometimes you can still see that like 13-year-old self in them, and this is because they debuted at such a young age and they were just thrown into this world. So thinking to YIBO then, he debuted in 2014 where he was I can't remember. I'm sorry. He was basically raised by his unique brothers and his managers. And I think they raised him very well, but because he became a trainee and then an idol at such a young age, he totally missed out on the things that a regular teenager would have been, like stressing out about school and then friends. But at the same time, he had to experience so many things that regular teenagers would never have to experience, such as like having to show himself before thousands, hundreds of thousands of strangers who may or may not like him, and like just all the shit that goes on in the entertainment industry. So you kind of see a disconnect where he is super mature because he has thought about and reflected on, and now he's really sure about what he wants to do with his life. He wants to contribute to society, but at the same time, he's like such a kid. He's a very experienced performer, artist, but also like, I don't think it's that he doesn't know how to act like an adult, but he doesn't want to, or he doesn't find it important. Xiaozhen also said before that YIBO has been in this industry for so many years, but he's still so.
因为他其实比我早接触到这个圈子，让我觉得好的一点就是他，无论他出道了或者3年4年，但他现在还是像一个很天真，然后很好玩、很搞怪的一个小男生的这样一个状态，很难得、很珍贵的东西。
If he doesn't want to do anything, he will not do it, or he will do it, but make it very, very, very obvious that he doesn't want to do it. And I'm not trying to say that he's not professional. Like, for example, I think he's kind of like a dude bro in that he doesn't like feminine things a lot, but he's willing to wear like women's clothing and women's fashion for his magazines, and I think that's an example of how professional he is. But what I mean by him refusing to do things that he doesn't think is necessary and he doesn't want to do is like wearing cat ears in an interview. Like, he will flat out refuse. And that is great of him. example of how just straightforward and also kind of naive of him is in 2018 when he went on Happy Camp. He had to do a dance battle during the show, and one of the staff from the show, they revealed in a video once that like even though it's a freestyle battle, most of the celebrities don't actually freestyle. And it's not just like for that episode. I remember a Taiwanese boy band that I really, really liked before. They already disbanded in like 2009 or something, but they went on Happy Camp once, and there was a round where they had to do like some freestyle stuff, but because I was a super fan of them, I recognized the dance that one of the members did. It was definitely not freestyle. It was definitely something he'd done on other shows many times before. But so back to that episode. So the other person then, he did something that he'd choreographed before. But when the staff was telling YIBO about this and then asking him for the music of his like choreographed dance, YIBO was like, but it's freestyle. Staff was like, yeah, so, but you can prepare it beforehand. So do you want to give us the music that you practice with? And he's like, no, I'll just do it freestyle because it's freestyle.
Turn my music high. Turn my music. Turn my music.
So that just shows how he doesn't give a shit, or he doesn't take any shit. Like, he just does what you have to do, and he respects all the rules and stuff as well. And I just think that's so adorable and also valuable to have. YIBO, he is so... Oh my god! YIBO, he once said, like, if he wants to do something, then he wants to do the best because he doesn't want to waste time. And I think that also shows in his professionalism. Like, he's not going to half-ass anything. In the street dance movie, One and Only, you can see him doing all the tricks. And yes, he has some body doubles. That's normal for harder tricks, but he does as many tricks as he can. And also, like, for his flying airplane movie, you could see that he was actually going through all of the intense training, like enduring the extreme temperatures, the really hot and really cold parts. Like, he was actually doing all of that himself. And also how he would drastically change his weight or his muscle mass for different characters, like getting really thin and then building up his muscle and then getting thin again, and then it's just, oh man, he really does all that. That is crazy. A lot of people say he's like some kind of good collector. I don't really like that term because it sounds kind of gross, but I think, yeah, like, if I was a senior in this industry and I saw a kid like YIBO who is really talented and hardworking and just doesn't care about trying to kiss up to people or like find loopholes and rules to give himself an advantage, or like he's just a really simple, straightforward kid, and if I was a senior and I saw him, I would want to help him out as well. What else do I love about him? I guess I wanted to start off talking about how YIBO is like such a complex character, but now I'm just like talking about how fascinating and amazing he is. Another thing about how complex his character is, though, like at the top he's like cold, kind of scary, kind of intimidating, and kind of shy. Then lower, when you get to the people that he's really comfortable with, he's playful, he's crazy, he's very childish. But then more deep down, he's like just like hardworking, passionate, and serious about what he loves. Even deeper down, I would not know because I don't think he would show any of us random strangers on the internet. One last thing is, for all the young idols out there, I really, really, really respect them for just knowing what they want to do with their lives at such a young age. Like being the same age as YIBO and a bunch of other idols, I can't help but compare myself to them. Like when I was 12, I was not doing much. But they were serious enough about wanting to become an idol that they could convince their parents to let them become trainees and practice hours every single day until they debuted. And that is actually really scary and impressive, and I totally respect that of them. And for YIBO, I really hope that he can continue to just be himself and be comfortable with being himself.